Oh, hello. How's it going, everybody? Hope you are having a great day. Today's video is a little something different, but very special to me. What is that? Stay tuned and you'll find out. Look what my girl gets to sit beside while I run in Lowe's real quick. Oh yeah, real nice SS. Got it done up just like a Z28. And has his little track decals in the window. Very nice. Now that right there is what I'm fixing to do to mine. I'm fixing to order the Z28 rear spoiler and I'm going to put a diffuser on it. But he has the tall diffuser. I'm going to be going with the smaller diffuser. Very nice. Looks really good. 1LE. Very nice. Yeah, I know. She's looking good, ain't she? I think she is. Today's Saturday, putting on the roof. Then tomorrow I'm going to start working on the wire if everything goes good. And it's almost done from there. But the purpose of today's video, let me get in here and put this piece of wood up. Purpose of today's video, yeah, look at that. Chicken's going to be happy with that. I got to come back and knock all these nail heads off. But the purpose of today's video is something a little different. I've invited a couple guys to do this with me, and this just happens to be the first one that replied and got everything in. And what are we doing? It's basically a long distance collab video, you know, with COVID-19 and all that stuff. You just can't meet up like you once could, you know, out in the wild, if you will. and you know, shake hands, say how you doing, close contact, test out each other's cars, ride along, stuff like that, interviews and all that good stuff. So what we're doing today, I'm going to be answering, well, we are going to be answering 10 questions. 5 of those questions will be on this video. I will answer them, he will answer them, and the next 5 will be on his channel where we both answer them, just like this one. So if you really are interested in the other 5 questions, what do we have to say, what's going on, then you'll have to go to his channel and watch it. And who is that, you might be asking? So glad you asked that question. So without further ado, the special guest on my channel, on my video, is none other than Car Nation Videos. Please welcome him to the channel.
No way. Bro. This is a 2010 Camaro SS. No way. Oh, and he's on Camaro5.com? Okay. Whoever this guy is, he must be cool, man, because he likes the same stuff I like. Hey everybody, welcome to Car Nation Videos.
Hope you like this little intro. Pretty cool, ain't it? Now we're going to, like I said, there's 10 questions that we came up with and agreed to. So I'm going to answer 5 on my channel. He's going to answer 5, and then I'm going to send him my responses, and they will be on his channel for the other 5, for a total of 10 questions. And most of them are, if not all of them, are car related. So let's get to it. I'll go first. I'll insert his, then I'll go first. I'll insert his. Then I may switch it up 1 or 2 times, who knows. But here we go. First up is, why a Camaro? With all the Mustangs, Challengers, Chargers, and all that great stuff out there running around, playing bad to the bone and everything, thinking they're bad to the bone. Just kidding, guys. Love you all, you know that. But with all the Camaros out there and all that stuff, here's the reason why I chose the Camaro. Now again, it starts with your childhood. And you know, every waking moment that you have, you're thinking about it. And mine's no different. I'm riding my bicycle through the neighborhood one day, you know, just riding, being a child, not thinking about absolutely anything. And then I noticed my shoelace was untied, so to keep it from getting tangled up in the chain, I stopped, bent over to tie it, and then all of a sudden I heard this, for lack of better terms, a monster. And I was like, what in the world is that? So I got to looking around, you know, looking in the skies, looking for houses to be crushed or comets to hit, you know. No, none of that stuff. What I saw was a garage door that had been halfway. Now it's slowly raising all the way up, and out backs a silver and black Z28 Camaro. It was a 70 something model. It was a Hornet. Ooh, oh, that's close. It was a 70 something model. I would say probably, if my memory serves me correct, around a 71 or 72. It had the split bumper, but you know, I didn't know enough about them back then to know the difference. We'll see if it was even a real split bumper or if it was the real RS option package, you know what I'm saying? But he's sitting here, and it's got that rake to it like the old-timey drag cars did, you know, the little short tires on the front and the big whopping tires on the back with the rear end jacked up. Whether it breathed from the spring perches or anything like that, you know, or traction bars, it had those two. Really, really cool, but it had that rake to it. Rather than being level, it had that rake. And you could look under it and you could see the mufflers hanging, and I don't know what they were at the time. Just big old mufflers and huge exhaust, because I could almost fit my hand up in the exhaust pipe. But it's sitting there doing the old lope thing, you know how those old cars sit there and lope.
Just to make sure I cover all my bases, probably gonna buy the yellow one, but I'm gonna check out this maroon one first. So I called the guy up, and he happened to be right around the corner from where I was at. So we met up, and as soon as he cranked up that car and I heard the cam and the way it was loping and the tires and the stance on it, I just had to have it. A Camaro or a Chevy? And to answer that question, yes, several. I remember growing up, it was me and my 3 other brothers. I have a stepdad out there, and he has 2 boys, and then it was me and my real brother. So we had 4 boys on the weekend whenever it was their time to come over and visit with us. And I remember so many memories in a 1989 Chevy Blazer. Very, very reliable vehicle. It was a V6. It was whenever they come out with the Vortec. It had the 4.3 in it.
Did my family ever own a Camaro? No. In my family, our cars were strictly utilitarian. In other words, point A to point B and haul the family. When I was first growing, the first cars I can remember, we had vans. My father liked to Ford vans because of the work he did. He worked for the Charlotte Observer in Charlotte, North Carolina. So he needed it to haul papers and stuff like that, and people. So that's what he had. My mom's car, I don't remember what she had back then. I really don't. But I do know as it progressed, we owned Dodges, Plymouths, Thunderbirds, Crown Vics, LTDs, Granadas, stuff like that. But never a Camaro, never anything fancy, never anything. Now don't get me wrong, they were always new. We had a brand new car every 2 to 3 years. But nothing, you know, nothing like a Camaro or even a Mustang per se. My mom and dad looked at them, but they just wasn't practical for what we needed. So we didn't have them.
Hey guys. So another question that Camaro Time asked me on this podcast, little collab deal, is have I ever owned a Ford? And the answer to that question is yes. I am currently driving a Ford as we speak. My backup car, and when I say a backup car, you know, every car guy, in my opinion, has to have some type of cheap little beater car that they use, so that they don't have to put high mileage. And you know, if you want to go somewhere and you don't want to get your car all scuffed up, you just want to have a little backup car. So this is my Mercury and it's produced by Ford. It has the modular V8 motor in it, 4.6 liter. It's got dual exhaust, and I paid $600 for this car. Let me see if I can show you the exhaust. Yeah, buddy.
Have I ever owned a Ford? Short answer is yes. Long answer is I've owned several. Like I told you, my family's cars have always been purely point A to point B stuff. So yes, I've owned them. I've had Escorts, I've had Granadas, I've had a Thunderbird, my wife had the Ford Explorer Sport Track. So yes, I've owned Fords. There's one that I'll probably catch heck about, and it's actually my favorite Ford, and that is a Ford Festiva, believe it or not. Now why? Number one, it was cheap. Number two, it would haul anything. I mean, I have had this thing to where it was sitting like that on the bump stops, and it never once hesitated. It kept pulling, it kept going. It was a wonderful car. I never had to do anything except put in brakes and oil changes. Wonderful car. So yes, I've owned Fords.
Alright guys, so for the next question, why did I choose red? Why red? Well, that's easy for me. So I didn't have the opportunity to spec my car out and buy my car from a dealership and really put my touch on it. I bought my car used.
I went to this dealership and there was a yellow in there and test drove it. Test drove both of them, ended up liking the yellow one, of course, since it was a V8. It wasn't a 2SS though, it was just a regular V8 SS bare knuckles. It was bone stock rims, stock tires, no mods at all, no exhaust. Everything was stock. And I just randomly looked on Craigslist. I wanted to make sure I covered all my bases. So I looked on Craigslist and that was when I saw it. Finally, I got the keys in my hand and I immediately went outside to crank it up. Anyways, I didn't need to test drive it. I just knew right away it was flawless, pristine. Like I said, only 13,000 miles. I gave them the check. The car was paid for. It was in my name. Went outside, put the tag on, and then boom, finally it's mine.
Why the color red, you ask? I'm glad you asked that question. Short answer is I really like the color. My favorite color in the world is candy apple red, which is very close to the color Carnation has. We should switch cars, Carnation. Now, as far as the long answer is, you know, you try to get something that is representative of yourself. You try to get something different that everybody else has. So, you know, you try to find a fine balance. And, you know, if you get to looking around and think about it, everybody and their grandmother has black cars. So, that ruled that out. Blue is kind of a hard color to find. Krypton green, I actually thought about that. But, I don't know, it's kind of one of those colors that once you live with it for a while, you know, will you get tired of it? You just don't know until you have it. And I didn't want to take that risk. So I found this red one. It was really low miles and it just suited me. I sat down in it, I took it for a drive, and I was like, this bad boy's going home. As far as what size engine and what engine I have and everything, it's standard stock LS3, 423 horsepower. So by the time you take out the percentage for the transmission and rear end and all that, because you lose some whenever you have horsepower is measured at the end, at the flywheel, at the crank, if you will, and then when you put it in the car, you have parasitic loss through anything that it has to turn. So the transmission, the drive shaft, the rear end, all that takes some away from it. And they say it's around 20% for an automatic. Straight drive's a little less. So even if you figure 15%, hold on, bump. So if you figure 15%, I'm running about 375 to 395 horsepower, somewhere in that range. If I had to guess, it'd probably be closer to 380. But yeah, that's the horsepower, that's the engine, the LS3, because it's a 2012, and it's a really great engine. This engine will fool you, especially up in the upper RPMs. If you sit there and you take off traction control and hit those upper RPMs, you're going to spin. No way around it. You are going to spin.
My 2010 Camaro 2SS RS has the 6.2 liter in it, which comes out to a 374 cubic inch motor. It's the LS3. For the longest time, me and my dad were talking. As you guys can tell, I talk to my dad a lot because we love cars. He loves cars just as much as I do. But we thought it was the 427, but he's from the old school. So the more and more I studied it, the LS3 is actually a 374 cubic inch motor. And I make 456 wheel horsepower.
Well, there you go. There's that 5 questions. Like I said, if you're going, you need to go over to Car Nation Videos, and I'll leave the link to it in the description box below. So be sure to go check it out. For the other 5 questions, I think it's a pretty cool idea. You know, I do 5 here. We both answer them. We'll do 5 on his. I think it'd be a pretty fun idea. But please go check out his channel and see what the other 5 questions and answers are, and get out there and enjoy your cars. That's what this is all about, enjoying it. Whether it's a long distance collab like we're doing today, because I'm on my way home. I got off early. I got something I got to do, and I'm gonna pick up the missus. So I am on the way home to pick her up, and I'm enjoying my car right now just simply by riding in it and talking to you. So until next time, get out there and enjoy your car, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.